Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm going to give a talk from the 37 Practices of a Bodhisattva today. And this text is a list of sort of tips to help us unleash our full potential, which is mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. Those are the things we're trying to cultivate. And so I've been going over one verse per day from this text. And this verse we're going to talk about today is called Giving Up Harsh Words. Giving up harsh words. And I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to comment on it. So, giving up harsh words. Harsh words disturb the mind of others and cause the bodhisattva's conduct to degenerate. Therefore, it's the practice of bodhisattvas to give up harsh words which are unpleasant for others. So, what are we talking about here? Just be nice with your words. And that we learned that in kindergarten, right? That's a very easy thing to learn. But at the same time, we're often not nice with our words. There's a Buddhist teaching called wise speech, or sometimes it's called right speech. I like wise speech better. But it can sometimes be the most difficult part of all of Buddhism. It's just, in its simplest form, it's described as using language to not harm ourselves and others, just creating harmony with our language. So that's easier said than done. How often do we say things that hurt people's feelings? Or how often do we gossip or tell little white lies, right? Or make fun of people? And it's too often. It's all too often. We are really dangerous with our words. Dangerous, maybe that's not the right word, but we're really aggressive with our words sometimes. And we sort of, I think we know that, but at the same time, we struggle with it. And this doesn't just apply to Buddhist practice. All religious traditions seem to have something about emphasizing honest and positive communication. So this is a case where we're talking about a fundamental aspect of Buddhism, but it applies to everyone. It applies to every religion anyway, every spiritual person, because it's a part of every spiritual tradition. So, how could we help ourselves have better speech? Here are some guidelines to keep us on track. This is a list. Number 1 is tell the truth. Don't tell a falsehood. Just as importantly, don't tell lies by omission. There's far too much dishonesty in the world. And if you tell a story and leave out the parts that make you look bad and only include the parts that make another person look bad, you lied. You lied. That's a lie. And we are pretty good at tricking ourselves and convincing ourselves we're honest when we're really not totally honest. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. I think if you tell a story and you leave out the parts that make you look, if we were all just honest with one another, the world would be a very different place. If you don't want to tell a story where you look bad, don't tell the story. Dishonesty is an attack on trust between individuals. That's not to say that this is 100% a rule. We always use the example of if it's during the Holocaust and you're hiding people in your attic, you don't tell anyone you're hiding people in your attic, even if they ask, right? So let's remember these are guidelines, and that's important. Number 2 is be compassionate in your speech, and this is like we were told as kids. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. We should use our voices to bring kindness into the world, and that's again, constructive criticism is okay. I think we really do know the difference between constructive and helpful criticism and being mean. I think we know it. We might kid ourselves, we might lie to ourselves and say, no, I was just telling it like it is, but I think we know, and we make choices about what to say. And if you don't know, really reflect on it before you say something. That's hard to do too, because we usually just say things, right? There was a Zen teacher who said, open mouth, already a mistake. Open mouth, already a mistake. And that's sort of like, we need to take a minute and think about what we're going to say, especially if we don't know what kind of criticism we're giving. It's not that people don't need feedback, but it is that feedback should be helpful. And number 3 is encourage others. Sometimes just an encouraging word can bring endless joy to someone. If you see the opportunity to encourage someone, do it. I think there's a severe lack of encouragement in the world today, and that's true in workplaces, and that's true in communities. It's really true in spiritual communities. It can be the case that there's not as much encouragement in the Buddhist temple as I would like to see. So, encouraging others is important in all aspects of life. Encourage people if you see an opportunity to do so. People need it. People need a lot of encouragement, I think. And then number 4 is be helpful. Our words, yes, they have tremendous power to cause harm, but also they have tremendous power to help. Our words can help others in many, many ways. We can explain things they want to learn, or we can just spread positivity and kindness. We can just spread positivity and kindness. This might be a little bit off track, but one time I have this friend, and he worked in, how can I say this? He did work in computers for a company that he didn't necessarily think was the best company. Okay, in a virtuous sense. He didn't think this was the best company. But he asked me, he was like, how can I do good at my job? How can I be spreading good? And I told him what I do. And that is, I go into work every day, and I just am really positive, and I'm really pleasant, and I don't cause any trouble for anybody. And that is a way we can be helpful. That is a way, just spreading positivity in itself is good, especially if you work in a place with a lot of people who are very negative, who are really, I don't want to be here, right? Who are really negative and seem down all the time, right? Just be positive and spread that. Spread that positivity and joy. Spread it. I think that's a way we can be helpful. Too often we use our communication to tear each other down. Tear each other down. And we can learn how to use our words for kindness. So that's it for today. I think it's very helpful to think about, how can I use my words to make the world a better place today? How can I use my words to make the world a better place today? Can I use my words to make the world a better place today? Because you can't always. But we can reflect on, what can I do? Because a lot of the time you can do something. So that's it for today. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and go see if you can spread some positivity today. Have a good day.